All right, so we're going to start with a totally blank template here. If we go to fetch, so she's logged in, and she has nothing in here except for CGI Ben, which we're going to ignore. And she is under her subfolder Lucy, which we've set up through cPanel to be a subdomain. So when we go to Lucy.Dacia Marquardt, how do you say your last name?
Marquardt.
Marquardt.com. It pulls up this, which is reading from the CGI bin right now. It's just an index file. So we need to start building out some hierarchies. So we're going to do one that says IMG. And we're going to do another one that says CSS. And that's good for now. We don't need to overcomplicate it. So if we go to Bootstrap or getbootstrap.com and we go to their download section, we have a couple options. I know I was telling you guys to do the source files before, but for this demo, we're going to use their CDN. A CDN is basically some place on a server all these source files exist, and instead of like having to keep them on our server, we just link to their server, which is really nice. You don't have to mess with a bunch of files that way, and it's right here. But first we need to make our index.html, right? Which can you do like a, nope. So do you have Atom installed on here?
Nope.
Do you have brackets?
No.
You have neither? Okay, so let's go to atom.com real fast. I think it's .io actually. Yep, and download Atom. Atom is the code editor that we're going to use. Some of you guys have brackets, and that's totally fine. Both will work. It's going to download. This is how we get a 30-minute, hour-long demo. Fast forward this part. Okay.
So are you inside the public HTML, or are you in?
Yep, so we're inside public HTML. Some of you guys are going to be a little different just based off how you set it up, and that's fine. Ideally, you want to make your subdomain under public HTML. You can do that within cPanel. There's like a little line. We go over to URL/cPanel. Log in. And we scroll down to subdomains. And let's do like test. It'll automatically fill out this document root, and we don't want that, so we're just going to delete that and do /public HTML. It'll autofill it /test. Oh, it does the create. It's going to take a sec. Okay, Atom is downloaded, so I'm just going to drag it over to the applications folder. Away it goes. Open it up. Also, while that's opening, if we go back to fetch and we go into public HTML, we're going to see that there's this new subfolder called test, right? So anything that goes into that test folder is going to exist on test.website.com. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And we don't care about any of this stuff. Get out of here. So I'm going to write just a really basic index.html file. And I always forget I think it's like doc type So yeah, let's just grab this for now. And save. And we're going to name this as index.html. We'll just put it on the desktop for the moment. Or you know what? Let's be clean and just make like a local folder called character animations web local. I don't know, something like that. And then that way we have just like a local area. So of course, since we're saving it to the desktop, it's not like uploaded yet. And we need to put it on our server. And when a URL is called, it's going to look for the index.html first before it looks for anything else, and that's always going to be the home page. So that's why we name it that. So we're just going to take it from the local folder and upload it. So now if we go back and we reload this subdomain, we've got this now. Everybody knows how like this is set up and what all this means, right? Does anybody need explanation on any of this stuff?
Why not?
What?
Why not?
Why not? Okay. So HTML, that's just the wrapper for all of your code. It's saying what language to read. And then this is your head, which is everything that comes before the viewable stuff on the website. So like this is where you can like title the document, like data is cool, right? Whatever, and that'll update the tab. Then the body is where you do all the stuff to make things happen, basically. All right. So the other thing we're going to need is a style sheet, and let's save this as style sheet.css. And then we're just going to get that uploaded too. And if you have CyberDuck, I only know CyberDuck, so I don't know Fetch. I'm sure there's a way to do it in Fetch, but you can skip this desktop folder step by just like right-clicking in here, and there should be an option that says New File, and then you can just name it index.html or whatever. I don't know. I've never used Fetch before, so I'm not sure if I'm just not like seeing how to do that or not. But that's why we're doing this part, because once it's uploaded, we can just close out of that file, and then we can go to stylesheet.css, right-click it, and edit with Atom.
Can you show us one more time how you got that style sheet?
Yes.
Yeah, so that was from the desktop, right? So I just, inside of Atom, I just was like file, new file, and then when you save it, it's like any other file, .css, and then I uploaded it to Fetch to our server, because this is just local. But like I was saying, if you have CyberDuck, you can just like right-click in here and go to New File, and it'll make it. Close out of that. So we opened this style sheet in Atom. Let's close out our desktop versions. And since we opened it up from within inside Fetch, this creates a dynamic link between the editor and the server. So every time you hit Command S on the whatever you have open, it automatically pushes it and uploads it to your server and overwrites the document. So it's no longer a local file. This file does not exist locally. So if we, because we want to open up index.html as well. So now if we change like this, right, it's going to push it live. And you can see over here it says transfer of index.html complete. And when we reload the site, our title changed. Okay, so next we need to grab Bootstrap and get that going. So we're going to just copy this guy. and paste it into our head. Right, so it's pulling in their overall style sheet that they use, and then it's pulling in some JavaScript to run things. And we hit save and reload. Nothing's really going to look different yet. And then we made our style sheet as well, so we need to get that in there, right? And remember, style sheets or CSS stands for cascading style sheets, and what that means is anything that is at the bottom is in charge. So if you have something at the top of a page, so like we have this style sheet up here, it'll load that, but then it'll also load the one below it, and anything in the one below it is going to override the one above it. Does that make sense? Because it's reading it again and just redoing it, right? It's just reading top to bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to do link rel style sheet. Good. And then href. And this one's going to be slash, what did we do? Like CSS slash style sheet dot CSS. And close that. Close. Save. Make sure I did the right. Oh, yep. So now we're just going to drag this style sheet guy into the CSS folder and keep it organized. So this is going to go to our root folder, then go to the subfolder CSS, and then look for a file called stylesheet.css and load that. And in here we can do like a class called, I don't know, text red, then do color red, right? Just to make sure it's working. h2 class equals text red. This is a test. Weird that it did that. h2. And close it. Save it. Oh, am I working?
Save your style sheet.
So I'm working off of the desktop, which is annoying. Okay. Save. Oh, this is on the desktop too. Dang it. Just close this. So, see what I just did? I accidentally just edited the local file instead of editing the fetch file. And that's why it wasn't working. So over here, let's just put that back in, h2 class, and text red. This is a test slash h2. Save that. Let's just get this completely out of our lives. And that should upload that. But we moved that file, so we gotta reopen it. Okay, so if we reload, we get this is a test. So have like a stray thing happening for some reason. Oh. But it's not red, right? So we can inspect it and we can figure out why it's not red. Click on computed, color. So it's not loading our style sheet, and we need to figure out why. Weird. Reload. And now it's red. So I was just editing the wrong file again. Okay, so we have Bootstrap loaded up, and then we have our CSS in there and working, and then we have index. We got our file structure. So now we want to start building out our system. So let's go back to our index.html, and let's get our system going. So we're going to start with a section and close it out. And you're going to switch section anytime we switch content idea, like big idea. You know, like when it's a new topic, we'll switch, or a completely different style. So from within there, we're going to use div class container, and that's a Bootstrap thing. It's going to make a container to house everything. And then let's close out that tag. Save as we go. And then let's make a div class row. Close it out. And then just to see an example, let's make some classes like BG green, background color, let's do green. Then let's do BG gray, background color is gray. And let's do, I don't know, like BG purple. So we've got our row, right? So now we need to set up our columns. So let's make a column and call it, let's say 4 units out of the 12. So div class call 4. Close it out. And let's make this BG gray. And let's just throw in a paragraph tag and label it so we know what we're working in and we can see it. Call 4. Then we can copy that down here and switch this to call 8. And then if 4 plus 8 is 12, right? If Bootstrap is a 12-unit grid system, this means we're using up the entire width of the grid. So let's load it, switch that to A2, and see what it looks like. If I totally screwed it up and I'm bad at this. I feel like it keeps disconnecting our stuff, which is super annoying. Fetch. What was my other purple?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So look, we have a column that's 4 units, then we have a column that's 8 units, and it's set it up for us, which is really nice. So over here is where we're going to put like our links, and then we're going to put our videos over here. And I wanted some padding in it too. So I'm just going to go to my row, and I'm going to say let's do margin Y. So Y is up and down, right? Let's just do 2. Maybe. Sweet, yep. And when we hover over it, look, it put 2 EMs worth of margin up and down. And that's on the row, so that's going to be on the whole thing. If we did it like individually, like if we went over to our column and we said, let's do padding X 5 and then padding X 5, so that's horizontal. That'll put it between the uploading stuff. Oh, sweet, cool, we broke it completely. There we go. That'll put it on the inside, right, of our columns. And then if we did something like margin X1, and we go back, see, now we've used up more space than our 2 grid systems will allow. Because that puts us, with those margins added in, that pushes us over the 12 units. So if we like reduced this to 7, it would let us have some padding, right? Does that make sense so far? Any questions thus far? Or do you want me to just keep going? You can shout out questions as I talk too.
What's like the different levels of things? Like how you put things inside of things?
Like what?
Like a div, and then there's a class, and then like all of the other stuff. You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Cool.
Like, do you mean like why is it structured like how I have it set up?
I just want to know like the structure more, so I know
Yeah.
like, what to put inside of what.
Sure. So container is going to wrap. So section is basically your content area. Container sets up your overall margins inside that section. And then row is just a horizontal row, and it's whatever height it needs to be. And then I'm going to get even trippier here and go a row and a row.
Okay.
But we're going to get this first part styled, right? So over here we wanted to have like a menu system, right? So let's do that first. And actually, I lied. I'm gonna keep explaining some stuff here. So now if I go down, and I'm still within this row, right? I'm still working in this same row. I can do div class equals call 12, close out the div. What else do I have? BG green. Right? So reload. And now I have a 12 unit row or column that's below all that. We can do smaller ones. We can do like, so we don't get confused, we can start with inside this container, but after that row, we can make a new row. And we can do div class equals call 1. Then we can do paragraph. let's do BG orange. Go to my CSS. BG orange. We can do background color orange. And then we can do some other stuff too, like say height is 25 VH, which stands for size of view height, which is the size of the browser. And then we can also say like max height 300 px, so it doesn't ever go over that. Yeah, let's just see what that looks like, and then let's copy this guy 12 times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Reload. Right? See, now I have 12 columns over here in my new row, and they all have a height of 25% of the entire browser screen. So let's, does that make sense so far? Questions? We with it? Okay. I don't need that, so let's delete some of this. And let's go back to our original containers here. I don't need, actually I'm going to move this 12. Up here, and I'm going to make a new row. Div class equals row. Let's do mx my 5. And we're not super concerned about making it pretty at this point, right? Like we just want to get it set up and working. You know, get it there and then worry about what it looks like. And then let's do div class equals call 12. And then close out that div here. Pump that in. It's going to move this H2 inside our system and put it up here. Okay, let's go into our call for, right? So this is going to be easy. We're just making like a unordered list, which you can Google the details. I'm not going to super go into it. Right, and we can do like P. Those VAs. And then we can add a class like, let's say we want margin up and down of 4 EMs on that. Just copy paste that sucker a couple times. Reload. And now we have the start of a menu system developing. Which is good. That's what we want. And now we want some content, right? We want some stuff over here. We want our videos. So this is where, bear with me, we're going to get a little weird. So what we're going to do is inside, right now we're inside this column 8, right? So we're going to write code inside this div. And we're going to say inside that div, we're going to start another div with the class row. And we're going to start over again, this is why Bootstrap is really nice. And that's going to make a new row and grid system of 12 units inside this call 8. So we can do div class equals call 12. And let's do bg orange. And let's put some margins 5 on that. And we can also use our height classes too. 25, just to give it a little bit of, oh, actually we already established that, so that's fine. Now let's just copy paste this a few times. See what it looks like. So it's kind of funky. Why did it do that? It's probably because we have too much. Yep. So it did that because we have too much padding, or our margins are too nuts. So let's go back into here and say, let's just switch that to margin Y and set it to like 3. And let's do MX auto instead and see what that does. And remember, MX auto is going to let the browser decide the margins on the x-axis, which will usually center it. It's still kind of funky. Let's just let's delete that, see what happens. There we go. Cool, right? So I bet you can guess what we're going to put inside these, right? Like our videos. So let's go to Vimeo. That's fine.
He's dope.
It's dope. It's just like 3D one. Sweet, good. Let's do. And then they give you an embed code, right? Which is really nice. We can autoplay loop. Get rid of that. Get rid of some of this stuff. Customize it a little bit. Do responsive. And let's put that in. Thanks forever. So it's kind of like overflowed, and that's going to be because we have a height set up. We see we're using this max height thing. So if we just delete that. Should work. Okay. Let's try. Cool. Looky there. So we've got like things working, right?
How would you link that video to the menu bar then?
Yeah, let me show you.
Okay. Sorry.
No, you're fine. Okay, I'm gonna add in some padding too. QI2. And when we do that, it'll put like a nice little interior border around it. 2 EM, top and bottom. Okay, so her question was, how do we link these things to these things, right? Let's do height 100 first. Let's just get rid of height auto. That's this one. Let's make a new class called full height. Let's do min height equals 100 view height. Go back over here. Save both those. Okay, so that gives us like this nice open area, and then let's get another one of his videos. It's really trippy. I like that. Ooh, looks cool. I'm sure it's not like weird. Sweet. I think this is all just Cinema 4D. Huh. It's dope. Okay, anyways. Embed, show options, responsive, autoplay, loop this video. I think there's a way to do with no sound too. I don't know what it is. You'll have to probably figure that out. Good. Let's go back over here. Let's go to our index. Let's go to this bottom one that we made. Good. Margin 3. Just set all these to the same. Because that's all in Bootstrap. Remember, we linked this this style sheet up here called bootstrap.min.css. So that loads all of the utility classes that Bootstrap has already made for us, which is why we like Bootstrap. Does that make sense? And you can see, if you go to this documentation area on their site, they've got all of that stuff on there. So I think if we go to utilities and then we go to sizing, it talks about all that width stuff we were talking about, and then spacing, I think, no, somewhere in here is the other one. But yeah, this has like all of this stuff in it, which is super nice. Flex, components. Like just flip through this before you start getting too deep into it, because like look at all the crazy stuff it can do. It can like little toast things, like pop-ups. It can do buttons. It can do breadcrumbs, badges, forms, drop-downs, navs, modals, whatever you want. And so it's super powerful. It's a little clunky, but images. Did I upload that?
Mm-mm.
No.
Yeah, you put it in the code. You didn't save it.
Let's save it. Let me get rid of my full height thing. Did I overwrite that? I probably did. No? Oh, yeah. Okay, so now we've got this guy all the way down here. We've got this guy up here. And then also, it's responsive, which is really nice. And we can kind of do a bunch of different stuff with this responsiveness. So I can say on here, I can go back to this and I can say, I can switch this to call MD8, which will say it's 8 units on a medium-sized screen. But then when we do call XS12, so extra small, it'll switch it to 12 columns, right? Which is really convenient and totally what we want. And then we could even like just hide this or something on mobile, but that's all in the docs and more specific. Okay, so in-page links. If you go over here, I think we can search for anchors. And we can look through this and see. Okay. So we're going to use this class navlink. Oh, right here. See, look at how well documented this is. That's awesome. And yeah, we're going to switch this guy to nav. Nav and div are the same thing, but this makes it your website accessible. And then we're going to just take, sure, let's take this. Throw it in. And unordered list. Okay. Put that there. And we're going to say a href. And we'll do video 1. Then let's just say link to then do the same thing down here. It's going to be href equals video 2. And if we put in the hashtag symbol, £, that's going to tell our browser that we're looking for an in-page link. Let's just get that. Actually, I want that to be here. And let's just check in, make sure it's looking okay. Cool, we have link to video 1, link to video 2. And of course, again, we're not worried about making it look pretty, we just want it to work. And then if we go back to our documentation, yeah, their IDs. So let's switch these to like H2s. And give it a little bit of padding. Let's say PY2. Name it video 1. Put that in the paragraph below it. It's looking okay. Close out that p tag. Okay, so now if we add, up here we said href hashtag video 1, right? So over here, if we, in this H2, if we just put in ID equals hashtag video 1, # video 1, it'll link it. So down here, same thing. Let's just copy this H2. And that. Switch video 2 to video 2. Save. Reload. Okay, video 1, video 2. So ideally, if we click this, it should slide over to it, but it's not. Read property FN. Fine. What are we doing wrong? Item 1, 2. Oh, I'm dumb. So we just get rid of that # in the ID. Sweet. See? So video 1, video 2. Boom. And there's even like things you can do for like smooth scrolling, which is crazy. Smooth scroll. JS. So I think if we just throw this in there. Make it smooth. Or not, whatever. Okay. What else are you confused on? What else do you need me to talk about? What don't you get?
I'm having trouble like copying this into
there?
Yeah.
So just hit the copy button.
When I do that, it does that.
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
Oh, it's scrolling over.
Yeah,
okay.
your screen's
I
too
thought
big.
it got rid
yeah.
of all my freaking.
So you can go up to here and go to View and
Okay.
hit Soft Wrap, and that'll just,
Okay.
instead of like making you scroll horizontally, it'll just push it to the next line.
That was confusing. I thought it
Yeah.
was like deleting all my stuff.
I have a question.
Yeah.
When I do edit with, it only has these three options.
Are you in CyberDuck or brackets?
CyberDuck.
CyberDuck. So you have to go to CyberDuck up at the top left. So the top left of the screen, like by the Apple menu, and then go to Preferences, and then go to Editor, which is the pencil. Then click that drop down, click Custom, and then are you using Atom or brackets?
Brackets.
So find brackets, and then there's a checkbox that says Always use this. Yep, and then close it, and hotkey Command K. Should. So just Command K, and you might have to. There you go. That works. Good. What else can I answer?
When you create videos in After Effects, what is the process of putting that into the code?
You're gonna upload your videos to Vimeo. So make a Vimeo account. Yep. Other row over there. How we doing?
Good.
How many videos?
How many videos?
Yeah.
Well, 5 expressions. So either some people are making one video that has like transitions between all 5 expressions, and then some people are doing 5 different videos segmented out. So up to you.
Does
Okay.
it have to be like a close up of the face, or does it matter?
Yeah, it has to be a close up of the face. We're just gonna solely focus on the face. I mean, I'd like you to put other design elements into the website if you have time. I just don't want to overwhelm you guys. So I mean, if you want to make, some assets from your character and put them up there, maybe there's another page in here that starts working on character Bible stuff. Like if you have time, explore more and put more depth into this. What other questions about coding specifically? So that I can answer, so I can stop this QuickTime thing.
Mine's more on the CyberDuck,
Uh-huh.
but like just finding my website to click on it so I can refresh it and stuff.
What do you mean?
Because on Fetch it shows like things you can click on
Like where?
on the browser.
Like this stuff?
No, so
When
If you
you
go back.
inspect things.
I meant on
Oh, on Chrome?
yeah.
Yeah, okay, so you can right-click anything on the internet and go to Inspect. And if you have it's really nice to do this on like a bigger screen. But if you pull this out to here, you can click on Computed, and this will show you everything, every CSS attribute that's applied to whatever you right-clicked on. So like if I go to this H2, right-click it, Inspect.
I'm having a hard time getting to that on Chrome.
Why? What's it doing?
Well,
So go to your site.
if I just do this, it makes me log into.
No. So you need to go to your character name dot URL, right? Because we made subdomains.
So that also does this.
Did you do some weird capitalization stuff? Jeff died. Jeff. And did you upload all your files to that subfolder?
Yeah, I have. So
Do you have an index.html in there? Yeah, rename that to index.html. Yeah. Now try going back to your web page where it says forbidden. There you go. Good. Okay, I'll come help you in a sec because you're different. Any other final questions before I hit the stop button on this? Going once, going twice. Yeah, I'm gonna put all this on the internet. Okay.
Mine doesn't let me edit it. It creates like this temporary folder, but then when I click save, it doesn't actually.
That's why I hate Fetch, TBH.
Oh.
I would use CyberDuck
Alright.
if not for the sole reason I can help you more with CyberDuck because I know it better.
And then at home I have Windows. Should I use CyberDuck for that too?
Oh, got it. I have no idea.
I'll look into it.
Yeah. I think like FileZilla exists too, which I think is a thing for Windows that people use. I don't know. I don't use Windows. But okay.